mind?
Oh no, I don't mind at all.
Okay. So let's start off with my first question, and it is: hip hop has always been a voice for the voiceless, but
Right?
censorship often tried to silence that voice. So, what are your thoughts on how censorship through the FCC, especially during the 90s and the 2000 era, helped shape some of the messages that artists delivered?
I think it's interesting because I don't really think it stopped people from talking, but I think it kind of I get the only way I can really describe it is because I work in tech. It's like a firewall, right? And so it kind of put folks, meaning hip hop artists, rappers, behind a firewall where now what they were saying could be judged, and I mean I have to call it what it is, manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
So it started because I was part of that first group, right? I was part of that first group of when the stickers came out, right?
Yes, parentals,
When yeah, like when they start doing the parental stickers, and I remember because I was doing campaigns. Um, I think I was signed to Tommy Boy at the time, and I'm almost sure that Bill Adler was my publicist at that time. And so Bill had me going out, and we was doing all these conversations with people about censorship and what the stickers meant and all of that. And so in the very beginning, all it was, young kids shouldn't be hearing adult material. And
right?
rappers had, a tendency to lean that way. Now, we wasn't always doing it because a whole bunch of people was not cursing on records and all of that kind of stuff. But it was if it was adult material, we need to draw a line here. At least that was that's at least what was told. We need to draw a line here because young kids are going to be hearing something that they shouldn't be hearing. When I fast forward to 2025, young kids hear a whole bunch of stuff they shouldn't hear. So it seemed to me that censorship, in terms of like just industry promoted and induced censorship, wasn't as much of what that original idea people was talking about. But what it seemed like it was is now something to keep somebody behind a firewall. So now that line is there. So now you could say what comes on the other side of it doesn't come on the other side of it. And the whole purpose of it seemed to be wasted. Because, like I said, nowadays I'm hearing 14 and 15-year-olds listening to stuff that I know that they shouldn't be hearing.
Right.
And so
Yes.
it's just a very interesting concept. I'm not, I tell my friends, all my friends this, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. When cats come to me with that Illuminati stuff, I say, man, go talk to somebody else about that. I'm not there. But if I was, or if I was thinking conspiracies, probably the first thing I would probably mention would be censorship, because it
Yes.
just seemed like it was a hoax. Like, yeah, we're saying that we're doing this to protect these kids, but what we're really doing is now we have control of the music, we have control of the messages, we have control of all of that. It's because it's all behind a firewall. I remember, I produced Top Billing for the Audio 2, and I remember why one of the bigger reasons why the Audio 2 never blew up. Like, if you talk to somebody and talk about Milk D or talk about the Audio 2, they only gonna say Top Billing. Nobody knows nothing else. And that's because Milk has said the word faggot in one of his records, and there was a big protest in front of Atlantic Records and all of that when they came out, and it seemed like the Audio 2 was just shut down because of one word. You know what I mean? And so that's what I mean by that. I feel like it gave the industry, if I could call it that, it gave the industry more control over the music. It didn't stop nothing. It just gave them more control over the music. And so then weird